my Crackdown 3 thoughts.
Hey guys, what's up? How are you? It's me, Hebot. I'm back. I'm trying to do another quick video. And as you guys will see here in the corner, in the title of the video, is basically Crackdown 3 thoughts. And my thoughts that I'm trying to talk about with Crackdown, for example, is, that I realized that there's a lot of things that have been going on wrong with the game. A lot of barriers and hooplas, back and forth, and especially right now with the fact that the game is basically not allowing players to send player invites to actual friends from a chat or from your list when you're playing the multiplayer mode. And the point that I wanted to address on this is that I see a lot of Xbox guys that are just really quick doing these videos, getting crazy to call them out, almost to seem like so they can look like they do videos also pointing out negative things on Xbox, even though this situation is a little different than other situations with, companies like EA when they have problems with these multiplayer games or the multiplayer component, if you will. Crackdown 3 is basically a perfect example in why Microsoft has made and put forth the effort to do the purchases that they have done. That's why they have went out and made these acquisitions of different studios, and this is a perfect example why. And the reason why I'm saying that is big shout outs to my son and to J Long, because they said this earlier when we were speaking, and in the course of the week when we've been talking about all the Crackdown hate, that Crackdown has been a victim of too many developers and publishers behind it. We've known since it got introduced and shown the first time on 2015 when they showed the trailer, and then I believe 2016 they showed what they wanted to do with the, cloud-based computing, with the shooting and the physics. Then they showed in 2017, said it was going to come out in 2018, and to this point it got delayed now in 2019 to 2019. So, and I know that it's been a rough road, but we all knew from the very beginning, Xbox, the guys in the Xbox community, that the game was going to be developed by Sumo Digital for the campaign. Knowing that, Crackdown was never really an online heavy game, especially with part one, part two, I believe did have an online component. And a new technology through Cloud Gen, obviously. And what people maybe fail to realize, and a lot of guys in the Xbox community don't even really talk about it and are clear about it, or clairvoyant maybe about it, that the multiplayer aspect of the game is being created or was under development by a different separate house as well next to Sumo, which it was certain Infinity and Ruffian Games that were doing the multiplayer component of Crackdown. Excuse me. Now, I don't know how much they had as far as who did the most work, whether it was Ruffian, whether it was in certain Infinity. We do know that certain Infinity is located in, I believe it's the UK, and Ruffian is located in Canada. And then Sumo is, I believe, here in the States. So none of those developers are owned by Microsoft. Not Sumo, not Ruffian, and obviously not Certain Infinity. Now, Certain Infinity did work with Saber Interactive to do the multiplayer component of Halo, but that was all being done in-house with their own developer, with 343s. So they had more of a hands-on approach and obviously ability to talk more and direct what's going on with these developers. because they were working with an in-house Microsoft studio. And I think this is what Microsoft's trying to avoid and eliminate with Phil Spencer thinking the same way for future game projects, like what they had with the debacle with, Scalebound with Platinum Games, and obviously with Fable Legends. They're trying to eliminate that by the acquisitions they did with studios that will be in-house and that they want to share their technologies and tricks that they've done when they worked on projects to one another to give each other feedback. And that is the idea behind why I think Phil did this, because Crackdown is a perfect example. I have a really, really strong suspicion, again, I could be wrong, that more than likely either Ruffian or Certain Infinity must have told Phil whenever he checked up on the game, yeah, we have everything under control. We know what's going on. We'll have it done. And they made a promise to have everything in there with the features and everything that needed to be there as far as multiplayer with the game right at launch. But not really knowing the task being that it was a new technology was very daunting. And these are smaller developers that never really done a game before. They just do multiplayer. They kind of just come in as substitute to help out whoever's doing it as extra help. This is the first time they're really doing it together and alone as a cohesive unit. So if the game does come out with missing features, I really feel that that's not really Microsoft's fault. I truly believe it's the developer that was making and developing the component of this for the game that should have came forward and told Phil, listen, we're having troubles because it's all new to us. We really need help. Can you send some of your engineers from the online structure or department to come over to our development studio and help us put these in and implementations of these features so they can be done on time? Instead of saying, well, yeah, we got it, we handle it, we got it the way we got everything the way we need to. Don't worry, it's gonna be ready. And kind of like put it off until it's a point where a game comes out in 5 days on Friday, and now it's too late, and now it's gonna look like Microsoft didn't care about the project enough to keep an eye on it along with Phil. I don't think it's their fault. I don't think it's that simple. We all know this is the last game from the Matrix era, from the deals they did back then. All the new stuff coming from this point forward is under Phil Spencer's helm and moniker. So all the negativity that I keep seeing is, I don't see the Xbox community guys that are supposed to know these things and should talk about them, bring it up into the conversation or explain it and break it down. So I hope that with what I'm saying, I'm trying to be more logical and intelligent about the situation and the matter, to not just real quick point fingers without thinking, well, maybe it's because of this or maybe it's because of that, because there's a lot of variables in this case with Crackdown 3. And we all know this because Crackdown 3 has legitimately 3 different developers. One handling the the campaign, like I said, the other 2 handling the multiplayer component. So, I know a lot of people are going to see the video or see what I'm saying, and maybe really fast or perhaps think, oh, you're just damage controlling. And the truth of the matter is, it may sound that way, but that's not what I'm trying to do, because I don't work for Microsoft. You don't work for Microsoft. None of the other YouTube influencers that you may watch works for Microsoft. Yeah, they can get a free game and talk to some of the guys when they go to E3. That doesn't mean they work for Microsoft internally. So I'm not going to make the assumption, hey, this is what's going on. Microsoft is at fault. This person is at fault. And point fingers. I'm going to give you an adult perspective and adult opinion with an adult way of thinking that perhaps more than likely this all this bad, you know, feedback and situation that Crackdown has been facing is because there's too many hands in the pot, and it's very hard to get that done without any hurdles. Now we all know Sumo Digital back then said, I think it was last year when the game was supposed to originally come out. I think it was October or September of 2018, before they delayed it again, that this campaign was done. And people still ranted, oh, that it looks like crap, that it's this, that, when that's the way that Crackdown style, art style is. It's cel shading, outline, to realistic graphics underneath. So we all knew this. And so they said, well, we're going to take the time now to polish the game some more and make sure that we add better detail and graphics to the game and make sure that it's nice and polished. When a lot, in reality, it's probably because they were trying to give the multiplayer people and developers more time, because the new tech is probably very complex or very complicated or complex to use, and it's going to take time to adapt it. It's like anything with gaming when they first do it. When Microsoft first tried to get into the realm of the online with OG, in the beginning it was very limited. It didn't work perfectly. It had a lot of things that, comparing it to today, it's night and day. And now the online structure is phenomenal. It's almost like second nature as a console owner when you play a console like an Xbox, that you're so used to it that you don't know how not to go back and not use it. When I play on the Switch or on the PlayStation, it feels like it's missing something, like it's lonely, like it's a solitary experience. Doesn't feel like the way that the structure of online and community structure is on Xbox. That feels always alive and something going on and very accessible. It's right in front of the screen there for you, right in the front when you're, on the dash or on the console. So I think the worries and the unnecessary hate is really unwarranted, because we haven't given the game a chance to at least come out. And I didn't want to do a video because I've seen many people doing videos about the Crackdown topic, but I didn't see not one person try to put into perspective a logical thought process of why maybe these features are not going to be there, because these developing studios are not owned by Microsoft. So Microsoft can't stay on top of them and really tell them how to do things. They're the ones that have to reach out to Microsoft and be like, we need help, we need this, we need this. Can you do it? And if they want to impress Microsoft, I'm assuming that their thought process is, well, that we got to do as much possible without letting them know anything negative or bothering them. And this is where the problem probably more than likely came in. The developers got caught up too much without realizing that there was a technical fee and it was going to be difficult for them, and thought they would more than likely meet the deadline, which is the game's coming out. And now they have this issue where the feature of inviting your personal friends or in a party chat to play the 5v5, you're not able to do it. And now it's basically random at this point. But they already said they were going to work on it and do it, so that's a good sign. I hope Microsoft sends their engineers and helps them out like they did with Diablo, like they did with Destiny in the very beginning, and they'll figure it out and everything will be fine. But this is nothing that we haven't seen this generation. We've seen this a lot with a lot of games this generation. Difference being that it's from companies that own these studios doing these games. Microsoft doesn't own Sumo, Ruffian, or certain Infinity. That's the biggest difference. So it's up to them to let Microsoft know by communicating what they're having problems with, what they need to help with, what they need to fix. And if they don't bring it up, then Phil and that Department of Gaming are not really going to know. are not really going to know how to do what they need to do or send in the help they need to send because they're unaware. They're just being given a promise from the developer, and then the developer is the one that's not able to meet that deadline. Okay, because they gave them more time for sure by delaying the game, right? So they can't say that they didn't give them time. So I don't really think the crackdown hate is warranted. One, because the game is not out yet as a full package, and I don't think that people realize that it's a new tech that is going to require a lot of uh, years and years and years of testing and working with before they can actually get it to work perfectly the way that it was intended to, and get their full grasp of how that technology works. It's like with any console in the beginning of it in the generation, you see how very bland and simplified most of the games are. And then when you get to like the end of the generation, you start seeing these results that are astronomically incredible. You're like, wow, how is that even possible? Games like Halo 3 to Halo 4, it was drastically changed. Same thing with Gears of War 1, right, or 2, right, or 1 rather, on 360, all the way to Judgment. It's like night and day with all the technicalities of graphic fidelity, details, cutscenes, special effects, sound, whatever. It takes time to master hardware the same way it takes time to master new tech. And this is the stepping stone, which I think it's going to go in a very positive direction. And I really do think that Crackdown is going to be well received, better than what we expect from not the media, not the phony Xbox fans that say they're a fan this moment and then the next moment they're acting like they're not. I think they're going to get it from the actual people that go out day one, play it either on Game Pass or buy the game, and they're going to be, extremely surprised with the result of the game in campaign mode and in multiplayer mode. I think they're going to be happy with both. So that's what I wanted to bring to the table as far as speaking with my thoughts. With obviously with the situation with Crackdown. The same way that I spoke with Master Chief, and he said something that made a lot of sense too. That it's a possibility that they might have not said nothing to Microsoft, meaning certain affinity or Ruffian, the guys developing the multiplayer, because they just were afraid of losing the project and not getting paid and not being able to fulfill their task. Because it's not easy to be on doing something for a long term that you really put your heart and soul into it, and then you end up losing it because either you get fired, let go, or replaced, for that matter. So yeah, so guys, I'm a little sick. Please excuse me. My voice is raspy. I've had a really bad cold for like 2 months now. I don't know if because the weather's been crazy in the Jersey area. But I'm glad you took out the time to watch this video. I hope you understand where I'm coming from. I hope you heard me out and listened to what I was trying to say in a very positive and logical type of way, or with the mentality of an adult and not acting childish or nagging like a child real quick. Pointing fingers or getting upset because, like I said, we don't work for Microsoft. I don't work for Microsoft. And nobody on these YouTube streets doing videos that are Xbox channels work for Microsoft. They're all speculating based off rumors or things they may hear here and there in the background from other people that are in the industry. That doesn't always make it 100% accurate. So it's still, at the end of the day, a speculation. Guys, thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed the video. Like I said, comment on it. Let me know if you agree or disagree. Share it with someone that you think might enjoy it as well. And hopefully you give it a thumbs up, or if you give it a thumbs down, it's fine. Either way, it's how you feel. I'm not going to force you to think otherwise because that's not my job. My job is just to be as honest and clear and honest with you, my viewers, as possible. So I hope you guys share it. And remember, I know that none of these things you have to do. So if you do them, they mean a whole lot to me. I really appreciate it. And you become part of my family. So Xbox for life, like a sickness that can't be cured. That's my saying. That's my slogan, people. Don't get triggered. It's just gaming. It's all in good fun. Love you guys very much. Big shout outs to everybody out there, from the DX Mansion to the Microbox of X, Project Xbox, Direct Gaming, Master Chief, Mert, Tuckmaster, Big Kahuna, Welch, E-Rock, Sega Forever, Sega Rocks, Sega Man, Megatron, Aru Poseidon, my boy Ricardo, my boy Lewis Hiram, all of them that support me and rock out and like and believe in what I do. Starboy, Jesuszilla, all these great people in the community. See you guys soon in the next one, and forgive me for seeming very out of place and even dreary and kind of heavy because I'm on medication, like I said, and I've been sick. So it's very difficult trying to find my voice and keep, attentive and alert while doing the video for you guys. Thank you guys. See you in the next one. Love you. Bye bye.
Thank you.